Braswell's got 14, back-to-back threes, 6-point Georgetown lead. Coleman outside.
So once again, I'm surprised they're not going back to Kent's side. Here he comes across the lane now. This is the guy. Give him a touch. Make the defense change.
Boy, Riley was looking for that one. They run 4-on-3. Braswell all the way. Knocked away by Coleman.
Well, Kevin Braswell is the acknowledged leader of this team. He knows an open shot when he sees one. You don't want to play me? Play this.
39% coming in from deep. Rebound Riley. Off his head. Let's see. Rutgers ball. Greg Esherick working it hard and trying to get a couple players. And he gets Samnick and Wilson in for Sweetney and Freeman.
See him stomp that floor and dance a little bit, trying to get the officials' attention that he's got guys coming in from the scorer's table.
Rutgers now with Wigan examining. They've got Jason McCoy in the game, number 21. Coleman, number 11. Kent in there as well. Rutgers 3 of 9 from three-point range against 5 of 7 for Georgetown. Exani for three, hits it. That's his first make of the season from deep.
And a big basket because they're trying to run a high-low with Kent. You got to make that shot to make it effective.
And a foul on the play. Coleman can't believe it. They had a block inside, but Coleman's going to get called for the foul. Braswell beats pressure by himself.
Well, again, we recognize the superior experience of Kevin Braswell. Georgetown has to rely on him to ignite them, and he's not disappointing.
Wilson playing with 3 fouls, has just 2 points tonight. Decent free throw shooter at 67%. Comes in with some pretty good credentials. Shields back in, and he replaces Jerome Coleman. Wilson, 19th in rebounding in the Big East, 3rd in field goal percentage, 6th in block shots, and 15th in offensive rebound.
But we mentioned, again, at the beginning of the telecast, in the last 3 games, all losses for Georgetown, he's been lost. He's disappeared.
The guy averaging 13 points. And if he ever gets it going, he's 6'11", along with Sweetney, 6'8". That's a terrific duo down low. Kent got it down deep. That won't go. Rutgers, and they give it up, and a foul. Ricky Shields, after the ball was saved by Joel Wiggins. Timeout on the floor, 11:47 to go. Real good battle in the Big East Conference. Georgetown by 4. Welcome back to the Rack, everybody. Dave Sims and Len Elmore with you here at our lofty perch at the Rack. A little bit different perspective
here we
for
are.
us. It's not bad. Lenny's not posting me up. We're watching the game from up here.
Well, it's all about cleaning my glasses so I can see the action out here.
It's pretty good, though. It's a lot different. It's not as high as Duke, which is extreme, which is up about 4 more floors. But this is about mid-level, so you get a real good perspective from here.
Well, absolutely, and you can see a lot of things that you wouldn't see on the floor level, particularly how guys attack the glass and where the ball might be and how plays are developing.
Georgetown in possession, down low to Sweetney. Draws a lot of attention. They get Kent for the foul. And let's get to our studios and Bob Stevens.
Thanks, Dave. Numbers 4, 5, 7, and 8 already losers today. Number 9, Iowa in Columbus and in trouble. Brent Darby for 3. Ohio State opens with a 20-2 run. They lead 22-7 with.
Bob, thank you very much. Boy, that's some lead for the Buckeyes, coached by Jimmy O'Brien. Down low to Sweetney. Kent, a couple of seconds ago, just picks up his 3rd foul. Tough shot on the turn by Sweetney.
Sweetney, recognizing that Kent would not contest them because of the fouls, just took his time and lined up that shot.
It's an old school look, too. Turn around from up there, 62-56. Shields, back rim. Kent lost it. Had it. And Kent just picked up yet another foul as Tony Bethel goes hard to the hoop. So Kent, that's his 4th foul. So he picks up 2 fouls in about 25-30 seconds.
Looked like a pretty good block from behind, but the foul looked as though it occurred before Bethel got it up. One of the guards snuck in.
Shooting 2.
Too late for that.
Sure enough, so here at the 10:52 mark, Kent 2 fouls in about less than 30 seconds. Now that changes the complexion of the game for Rutgers, and Kent's going to limp out of the game right now.
Well, if there's a bright light of hope for Rutgers, remember they took off with that energy towards the end of the first half with Kent on the bench.
That's right.
It was all about the pressure. It was about the energy. It was about getting people active.
So Kent on the bench. Been a good inside score, 14 points, 64-56 Georgetown.
With the team that's on the floor right now, without Kent, Rutgers has to be able now get involved in more of a transition push game.
Hall lost that battle to Shields. Here's Wiggin down low. Dabney, bad miss. Rebound comes to Wiggin. Finds Exani, baseline jumper, a little short. Rebound Shields, a lot of opportunities. Foul Wilson.
And that's exactly what Rutgers needs to do right now. They don't have that stabilizer in the middle to play half court, so now they've got to get kind of helter-skelter, utilize their athletes, move the ball, just play instinctive basketball as opposed to anything set.
Fouls starting to mount. Wilson's got 4. Kent's got 4. 15 foul for Georgetown. Rutgers has 17 fouls. Shields at the line. He's got 5 points. Ricky Shields, good wing player. 40-inch vertical in his possession. Braswell, Sweetney, and Freeman back into the Georgetown lineup. 8,134, the largest home crowd thus far here in this season. The Big East Conference home opener for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Shields with the free throws. Makes it 64-58. Hall in trouble. Sideline. He gets to the middle. Loses it. Rutgers 4-on-3. Lamizana couldn't handle. Oh, thought he might have got called for the walk. He missed the layup. And then a foul there. They're going to say Lamizana or Exani. Let's see who it was. It's a foul on Hall, who went down hard.
Oh, this is a tough break for Rutgers. They had the opportunity with Lamizana flying to the hole. Couldn't find the handle. And then it turns into a Georgetown possession and a foul because of the overzealousness.
So Exani picks up the foul, his second. Drew Hall seems to be okay. 8th team foul, 1-1 in effect now.
Returns for Georgetown.
Don't forget, coming up tomorrow on ESPN, NFL Sunday night. You've got the Eagles and the Buccaneers at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Eagles wrapped up that first NFC East championship in 13 years. Thrilling win over the Giants last weekend. The Buccaneers have 2 impressive pelts to their favor. They beat the last 2 Super Bowl champs, the Rams and the Ravens. So they're in. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern time. Tony Bethel, 63% on the season. Nails the first 7-point Georgetown lead. The free throw story. Just got all those misses for Rutgers. Comes from the hand of Rashad Kent. Bethel with 11 points. Georgetown had an 18-point lead about 5 minutes ago first half. It got knocked down to 8 at the conclusion of the first 20 minutes. Lamizana ridden a little bit too hard there by Gerald Riley.
Well, Lamizana's a tough matchup. At 6'10", he's smooth. He can handle the ball on the outside. He can certainly shoot it out there. Came into this game shooting 7 of 14 from 3. And certainly, obviously, he can play people, particularly smaller than him, down low on the block.
Riley's foul is third. Exani in traffic, blocked by Wilson. Got all of it. Shields down low. That was changed. Lamizana, he got fouled. Wilson. For Wilson, that's his 5th. He's done.
But Wesley Wilson was a guy that Georgetown definitely needed. Right here, does a nice job with the first block. Comes back into the play, and there's the foul right there, and he didn't leave his feet on that one. He's puzzled.
3 points on the evening for Wesley Wilson, who fouls out. Wesley Wilson, first time he's fouled out this season. Freeman and Hall back into the Georgetown lineup for Bethel and Samnick.
Obviously, the points are very important for Rutgers, but making free throws allows them to set up that pressure D.
Sure enough.
You know, this is how they sustain their momentum, and this is where they're getting their offense.
8 points is the margin. Braswell picks up the foul off the steal by Lamizana. 66-60 ball game. Georgetown in the lead, but Rutgers threatening to make a move here.
And we mentioned all is not lost because Kent's on the bench. If Rutgers can continue to reap some dividends from this pressure, you know, they can cut into this time to a point where Kent can get back on the floor.
Jerome Coleman, he's back in the game, replacing Ricky Shields. Anybody but Kent on the free throw line. Rutgers is really moving along here.
When you talk about Lamizana as a sophomore, he had his eligibility restored about 4 games ago. NCAA had him missing 30% of the games. He leads the bench attack. It's a guy that's only been in the country for 4 years from the Ivory Coast.
Lamizana with 10 points. 4 points, the Georgetown lead. Here's pressure by the Rutgers. Sweetney gets it across off his foot, almost turns it over. Exani gets down, and they take it away, and a timeout call. And Gary Waters says, oh, no, we didn't want that. We only have one more. That was it. So 9:22 to go. They get the possession, and they blow the timeout. We'll take a break here. Gary Waters has to be resigned to that. He'll have to make do without. And a 4-point deficit. Bob, thank you very much. Startling revelation there regarding Troy Bell. But here at the rack, look at this. Rutgers does not have any times out remaining. And that's the product of calling a whole bunch of timeout because he didn't like some things he saw defensively in the first half, as well as this last play where they had the arrow.
Well, in the loose ball situation, when players call timeout, you'll hear me say it, and I've been saying it for years. Bad decision. That is not a good play because players get in the habit, and when instinct takes over, they forget about the time and score situation. You know, in this instance, Rutgers had the possession arrow pointing their way. All he had to do was hold the ball.
They're calling for goaltending. They get no satisfaction from the referees. And it's going to be Rutgers ball. Braswell couldn't save it. But Lamizana's a shot down there along the baseline. Gary Waters saying, how can you not call that goaltending? Here's a look. Lamizana.
Oh, that was definitely on the way down.
Freeman got it. We're at the 9-minute mark. Georgetown by 4.
The only thing the official could have thought was that the ball didn't have a chance to hit iron, which from that angle certainly looked as though it did.
Back rim, rebound goes to Freeman on the miss by Coleman.
And you got to get some white shirts in the paint on shots. That time, nobody around the basket. Without Kent, nobody really focused on rebounding.
Cortland Freeman and swooping in Riley, blocked by Exani. Rutgers has got the opportunity right now. Rashad Kent took a seat with his 4th foul. It was his 2nd in about 30 seconds at the 10:52 mark. Right now, 4-point deficit. They've had a couple opportunities. Here's another one with Lamizana getting the loose ball.
Much better job of offensive rebounding. Now you got to move the ball.
Herve bailed out. They swing it down the lane. Coleman lost it. Hall with a couple of men to beat. Got the shot up, and he'll shoot 2. They're going to get the foul on Sherrod.
Rutgers foul number 3, Mike Sherrod.
Sherrod's 4th foul. And that's not a good sign for Rutgers. 23rd ranked Georgetown in the house here at the rack in Piscataway, New Jersey. I'm Dave Sims with Len Elmore. Terrific outing here in the home opener in conference play for Rutgers and a PGA Mercedes Championship. It's on right now at ESPN, and tomorrow final round coverage from Kapalua. Mike Weir took off with a first-round 63. Toms and Perry, they led coming into third-round action. Third-round coverage continues tonight on ESPN until 11:30 Eastern time in the final round tomorrow. Got a timeout with 7:58 to go. Georgetown 6 points ahead of Rutgers. Back here at the rack, everybody. Dave Sims and Len Elmore with you. Let's take a look at the work done by Mr. Mike Sweetney.
Well, in the first half, it was all Mike Sweetney for Georgetown. Again, playing off his teammates' ability to dish to him, shooting from outside, certainly making his way and his presence known on the inside. In the second half, he's been bottled up. You see the attention he's gotten, but he still found a way to put a couple of points on the board. You know, Mike Sweetney, again, we just talk about him and marvel at his ability to dominate a game for stretches with those soft hands, those quick feet, and that big, wide body.
Our storyline, Georgetown shooting it pretty well. 53%. Sweetney with 5 points here in the second half. Rutgers with 12 steals. Kent 14-5, but he's got 4 fouls. He left the game with the score 62-56. So a 6-point margin. That's where we are right now at 7:58 to go in regulation.
And Gary Waters would be very pleased with his team if they held that deficit to 6 to a point in time when he can get Rashad Kent back in the ball game.
And keep in mind, too, the other part of the story, Rutgers does not have any times out remaining. The last one they used at 9:22. You know, it's like the ghost of Chris Webber, right? Oh, a little bit too close, too much juice on that pass from Exani to Jerome Coleman. Sweetney's going to come back into the game, and he'll replace Victor Samner.
And again, Jerome Coleman, first-year player. Exani's been here for a while. That's just maybe a little lack of communication, a lack of understanding each other as to when the ball was to be passed. You know, it's those little things that sometimes can cost you a ball game, but are also things that you learn from and hopefully not make a mistake in succeeding games.
Cortland Hall posting up with Sweetney. Fade away. That's a pro shot. My goodness. About 15 along the baseline. Good-looking shot. 70-62. He's got 19.
And again, you look at that body and you don't think he has that range. You think he's a paint player.
Talking to Ronnie Thompson before the game, assistant coach at Georgetown. He said that's one of the things he's really worked on. And they try to feature him in that regard. And Kareem Wright, it wasn't pretty, but he's going to get a chance to go to the line.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
Yes, indeed.
Georgetown foul number 2, Cortland Freeman, his 4th. The Hoyas 9th.
Yeah, we talk about Mike Sweetney and his ability from everywhere on the floor. Look at him step out, create some room, and obviously knowing Wright's not coming out after him, just had a nice look.
Finished product. Kareem Wright, a Philadelphia native. Went to Mercersburg Academy, down 25 pounds, as we mentioned, down to 285. Cousin of Doc Gooden, former Penn State and NFL running back DJ Dozier. Really like his personality, real effervescent. Thank God it's that big, being effervescent, being friendly. Want to be on his good side. The big men for Rutgers, the free throws have been murdered. Kent has been a liability. Riley for 3, that won't go. They keep it alive and saved by Coleman. Rutgers down 8, under 7 to play. Jewel Wiggin out of the Bronx at the point. Gives to Ricky Shields. Shields, tough shot. Didn't get any iron. Sweetney rebounds.
Well, Rutgers, if they have to create shots one-on-one, they're in
catch. Terrific catch by Riley on the delivery by Hall. 10 points, the Georgetown lead.
And it was the creation of the shot, or attempt of creation of the shot, that led to that basket because there was no balanced floor. Quick shot, you don't have anyone back. And Georgetown exploits it.
Gerald Riley with 11. Boy, he got hit. Coleman showing some serious range. 72-65, approaching 6 minutes to go. Up court quickly to Riley. Back to Braswell, and with this lead, Georgetown can play a 2-man game way outside and milk it, and they exploited Kareem right there.
And you know what? The official was just waiting for that reach. I mean, Kareem Wright should have recognized, again, you got to use your body, not your hands. At that size, just anticipate.
Second foul on Kareem Wright. Rashad Kent left the game with 10:52 at the 5:54 mark. Lenny, what point should we expect him coming back in with his fourth
Well, he's
foul?
about to come in right now. As
soon as I finished that, there he was, getting up.
I mean, Gary Waters can't wait.
That's
You know,
right.
he sees this deficit growing.
That's right. Got to maintain some contact.
Kent and Mike Sherrod return for Rutgers.
Kent, Sherrod for Wright and Wigan. Samnick is back, along with Tony Bethel.
It'll be interesting to see on the next trip on defense what defense Rutgers plays. I know they can't match up Kent on Sweetney man-to-man, and if they do,
See ya.
it's going to be difficult.
Braswell's got 16. He's a perfect 4 for 4 at the line. 74-65, Georgetown.
Obviously, the focus right now is to score a bucket or two.
And it to Coleman. Off the glass and in. Boy, he can score. He had 101 threes the last couple JC years.
I
Good
cannot
night to
believe
Rashad
that. I cannot
Kent.
believe that.
And that'll be it. At the 5:30 mark, he was in for what? Maybe less than a minute, right?
Yeah, but he's a senior. I know Gary Waters can't believe it either. You
Let him
tell
go.
the experienced guys, okay, we need you to stay in the ball game. Here's a breakaway layup.
Leave him alone.
Only Jordan can go up and catch block it. I
Got Ron Mercer
just
last
let
night.
it go.
Sure. Boy, that changes the complexion of this game. 5:30 mark, he's done. Rashad Kent, 5th foul. Kent, 14 points, 5 boards, 6 of 7 from the field. However, 2 of 10 at the line.
Well, you know, the interesting part about it is, you know, instinct probably took over as Gary's probably talking to Rashad, gently telling him you got to think when you're out there. Instinct probably took over, but that was the time when you have to think.
No doubt about it. Riley, a very good free throw shooter at 89.7. He's got 12 points on the evening. He's 4th in the Big East in free throws behind Chris Thomas of Notre Dame, Gary Buchanan of Nova, and John Linehan of Providence. Kent knows he made a critical mistake. (76-67) Georgetown. 5:20 to go in the ball game. Rutgers needs to get some shots up now. It is getting late. Shields from deep. Rebound Dabney. Back up top Coleman.
Coleman's the guy that's got to be able to create. You know, he's been relatively quiet.
Sherrod. Dabney looking at a double team against Sweetney. And they get Sweetney with the knee action. And for Big Mike, that's his 3rd.
You know,
Check that, his 4th.
This is a situation where Mike Sherrod, the ball handler, the point guard out on the floor, has to recognize who's out there with him. And in a half-court situation, his first job is to execute. Get the ball in the hands of the people who can get it done.
Coming up next here on ESPN2, NFL's greatest games, and this is a beauty. The 87 AFC Championship, the Browns and Broncos from old Mile High Stadium. Cleveland came all the way back. Then a tough moment late. That's NFL's greatest games coming up next.
Is that the fumble?
Oh, God, yes.
Ernest Bynum?
Oh, jeez. Ed, I remember that. It was a great comeback. What a game that was. Dabney with the free throw. He's got 6 points. Stolen by Lamizana, but right back by Sweetney. Braswell the other way. Braswell. Bobbled. It's bounced around. Rutgers with an opportunity. Sherrod.
Oh, nice.
Lamizana for the jam.
There's no quitting these Scarlet Knights. They're attacking.
Lamizana with 12. 5 points. They're down 4.5 to go. And a timeout called by Craig Esherick. Wants to restore a little bit of order here. Keep in mind, too, Mike Sweetney has 4 fouls. Both teams in a double bonus. Rutgers without a timeout of any kind.
And that was an example. I talked about Sherrod having to get the ball in the hands of people who can make it happen. And right there, nice no look.
Oddly enough, with 4:31 to go, down 5, some Rutgers fans are actually leaving the arena, which stuns me. This has been a good ball game, and this
No,
team
they're
is,
not.
yes, they are. This team has shown some heart too. I'll tell you.
They're going to the water closet. They know it's a timeout. They'll be back.
4:31 to go, and let's get to Bob Stevens.
All right, we will take you back to the rack in a moment, but first let's take you out for the final minute or so at Gamble Pavilion, Miami.
Hey, folks, that was some thrilling finish at Storrs, Connecticut. The Huskies knock off Miami, so only one unbeaten team left in major college basketball, the Duke Blue Devils.
Well, a tremendous win for Jim Calhoun and his team. And I wouldn't exactly call it an upset.
No, sir.
Gamble Pavilion is one of the toughest places in America to win.
Absolutely, and Craig Escherick right now getting all he wants. Up 7, 3:22 to go here in regulation. Gary Waters is seen as leading player. Rashad Kent foul out at the 5:30 mark. And Gary is playing without a timeout. They used their last timeout with 9:22 to go.
Well, it's the inability to stop the clock when you need it Gary Waters has to deal with, but you know, he may use this obviously as a teaching tool. Guys recognize situations and are going to find ways to execute.
They wanted a reach-in foul there by Riley, and a nice scoop shot by Shields to get the bucket close to within 5. And just joining us, Georgetown had an 18-point lead midway first half. Rutgers knocked it down with a terrific run, close to 8 at the half. And then Rutgers has pretty much had a nice, decent distance between themselves and Rutgers. Don't forget NFL Greatest Games coming up right after us. And now Rutgers has got it down to 5 again, coming up on 2.5 to go in regulation.
Well, absolutely striking distance. And Gary Waters will probably tell his team, you want to stop the clock. It's about tie-ups. It's about stealing the ball, creating some momentum. Force those guys to call it.
Braswell lost it. Couldn't get the shot to go as they cleared a side for him. 2:18 to go. Rutgers could use a couple of big shots here. Sherrod turns a corner. Shields will offer from there. Short. And Jim Bursitt was partially blocked. Hall being ragged back there by Coleman. Pretty much let him play here tonight at the rack in Piscataway, New Jersey. Riley outside. Riley loses it to Shields. He's got some help. Shields with the spin dribble. Lay it up and in.
Well, if you're Craig Escherick, the galling part about all that is you're in the delay game. You don't get it stolen.
And a block by Lamizana. And controlled by Shields to Lamizana. And there's no times out. He's got to get rid of it. Rutgers down 3. Minute and a half to go.
And that's what I was talking about. It's going to be your defensive plays. They're going to get it done. Gary Waters telling his team to clear out. Look for Mike Sherrod to try to create a little penetration, kicking out the shooters.
And before Georgetown turned it over, they had the 2-on-1 break. Escherick was calling for timeout. Lamizana gets a foul on Samnick.
Well, that's what I was telling you. You got to be, if you're Craig Escherick, you got to be upset with the fact that you're going to a delay game. It's an isolation situation. How do you get it stolen? But watch Lamizana right here. Breakaway layup. He finds the presence of mind to cut off the angle. And then on the offensive end, we talked about Sherrod penetrating, but we forget Lamizana at his size, absolutely tough matchup in a spread floor one-on-one situation for anybody on the Georgetown team.
Ronnie, you talked about Lamizana missing those 8 games. That's a critical free throw. 67% on the season. In those 8 games that he missed, Gary Waters saw his bench get outscored by an average of 6 points. But since Lamizana has been back, it's almost been a push. Bench has performed better, led by this man right here.
And one of the things he does when he comes off at 6'10", with the ability to handle the ball and shoot from distance, forces the other team to make an adjustment. Sometimes they don't have the staff, the personnel to make an adjustment.
Last time Rutgers had a lead, it was 6-5 in the early going. They're down 2 as we approach the final 60 seconds of regulation. Fans come to their feet, most of them here at the rack. Braswell, Exani, shuts him down. Here's Freeman.
Nice step out on the pick.
They go down low to Sweetney. Let's see, it'll stay right here with 11 on the shot clock for the Hoyas. 48-9 on the game clock. Timeout, Georgetown.
Timeout for Georgetown, but absolutely an appropriate time for Gary Waters to reset his defense. I will tell you what, Dave, if the ball goes into Mike Sweetney, if he doesn't draw every white shirt into place, something's wrong.
Don't forget the PGA Mercedes Championship. The new season is underway. It's now airing on ESPN. Final round coverage tomorrow here on ESPN. That begins at 4:30 tomorrow. That's 4:30 Eastern time. And right now, let's check in with Bob Stevens.
Thanks.
The Big East, ladies and gentlemen.
Now that was an upset. Boston College getting beat at home.
Braswell, 3-ball. Can't get it. Shields kept it alive. Sweetney had it, lost it. Rutgers takes over. Down 2. 34 seconds to go. No times out remaining.
And here's the learning tool. You don't call a timeout if you don't have it, but more importantly, it allows his team now to flow into their offense and see what kind of continuity they have, what kind of presence of mind they have for execution.
Lamizana checks the clock. Riley, good defender, knocked away by Braswell. They get it to Sherrod. He challenges. He goes up and scores. It's tied at 80. Timeout, Georgetown. .3 seconds to go. Locked at 80.
Well, Mike Sherrod, again, does what a point guard does. Shot clock counting down, he creates something. And that one he pulled out of a hat. Lamizana with the penetration, gets it kicked away. And you get it to Sherrod with that quickness. Gets into the defensive teeth before they could react.
Georgetown, that was their final timeout. Rutgers on a 13-4 run the last 5 minutes.
Here's another teaching opportunity. Don't celebrate too much. You still got 13.3 seconds left to work.
Don't forget NFL's greatest games coming up, the 87 AFC Championship. Browns and the Broncos. No times out remaining in this game. And again, what do you look for strategy-wise here?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see what Rutgers has left. They've only tied the game. They haven't won it. But the guys were celebrating as though that were the case. So you got to get their focus back if you're Gary Waters. But obviously with Georgetown, you got to look at Braswell and Sweetney, maybe run something where Braswell comes out on Sweetney's side, and then you've got an option of Braswell with a jumper, Sweetney get the ball in the post, getting fouled, and making a shot.
What we have seen thus far, Pittsburgh wins at BC. Connecticut knocks off Miami. And this game tonight, 23rd ranked Georgetown being pushed to the brink by Rutgers. This tells me that the league is a little bit better and even more competitive than I thought it was going to be.
I don't listen to that hype about this league is down, that league is down because you don't have the named players. Hogwash. This is the wild Big East. It's like the rest of the nation. Any of these teams are capable of beating anyone else. That's the beauty of college basketball.
No doubt about
Unpredictability. If you're a fan, you're going to watch.
13.3 seconds to go, tied at 80. Riley trying to get it to Braswell. He's won the game at South Carolina with a right side 23-footer. He's coming up the right side again. Here's Braswell. Shakes free. In the air, got blocked by Lamizana. The freshman Bethel. Overtime.
I think the play established itself too slowly for Georgetown. Braswell walked it up. In his mind, he was going to take it all the way, although he had a pick from Sweetney. Look at the left side. There's Sweetney positioning for a pick. Braswell could have pushed the ball up and given himself more options. But even then, Georgetown had an opportunity right there.
7 block shots for Herve Lamizana. Overtime. It's up next here on ESPN2.
The muscle build.
Need an extra 5 minutes at least to decide this game. Georgetown and Rutgers going to OT. And how about this? Rashad Kent fouls out. 5:30 to go. He put up some good numbers except at the foul line. Picked up his last 2 fouls in 30 seconds. It really killed him. But Rutgers comes back. Lamizana has been outstanding. 13 points, 5 boards, 7 block shots.
Well, if you're a coach, that's what you dream about. You pray for. Your best player goes down on fouls in a close game situation, and somebody steps up, steps in the breach.
Hall wins it after Rutgers had 2 shots at it on the opening tip. That's 7 blocked shots. Kent had 7 blocked shots in a game earlier this season. And Jimmy Burr stopped the clock. I guess they reset the possession arrow. This is Big East basketball from the rack here in Piscataway, New Jersey. 23rd ranked Georgetown against Rutgers. Dave Sims and Len Elmore with you.
And one more comment about the league being down. You know what? It's the game, boss. It's the game.
Here's Sweetney.
That's what it's about.
Wheeling and goes glass for the bucket. Mike Sweetney. They need to go to him more. He's got 21. Didn't get as many touches in the second half as he did in the first half.
Well, a lot of that had to do with the Rutgers pressure, making it difficult to get inside. But if you get it inside, you can count it.
Sherrod on the penetration was blocked from behind by Braswell. Samnick coming back in. He'll replace Sweetney.
A little offense-defense switching by Craig Escher. Keep his big guy out of foul trouble and keep him fresh. Recognizing that with Kent out of the game, there aren't many people that can contend with Sweetney on the block.
Sweetney's got 4 fouls.
And defensively, Sweetney doesn't match up well with any of the big people on the floor for Rutgers.
We'll stay right here. Samnick touched it as it went out of bounds. That was a deep shot by Jerome Coleman for 3. That would have given Rutgers the lead. Last time Rutgers had the lead, 6-5, back in the early going. Inbound to Lamizana. Playing with a lot of confidence.
That's a nice catch. Nice catch by him also.
Ooh, they get a traveling violation. That'll be a turnover. And Sweetney's going to come back for Samnick.
Well, that's difficult. You don't get a shot. You get 2 possessions, and you only get 1 shot out of it.
Eugene Dabney, they'll play a little OD themselves on the Rutgers ball club. Lamizana is out, and Dabney's back in. Dabney at 6'10". Same as Lamizana.
Now, I don't know. Lamizana with those 7 blocks would be very formidable on the defensive end for Rutgers.
Good point.
You know, I kind of question that move right there. They need somebody to keep these guys from penetrating.
Hall leaves. Sweetney, count it. He's got fabulous hands. He may have the best set of hands of any power forward, certainly on the East Coast, and among the best in the country.
Well, we always talk about a player's hands, but you know what? It's really their eyes. It's the ability to see the ball into your hands. Certainly it has to do with touch, but he keeps his eye on the ball, never takes it off until he's got possession. Take a look here on the little dish off. Sweetney sees it all the way.
Put up some serious numbers here. That's his 24th point. He's 4 out of 5 at the line, and he's got 13 boards. A 4-point Georgetown lead. Samnick for Sweetney. Sherrod, Exani, Coleman. You've got Shields, and Lamizana is back on the floor for Rutgers. You've got Paul and Cortland Freeman, Braswell, Samnick, and Riley for Georgetown.
You also got Lamizana low. Here's a guy that presents a great deal of difficulty out on the perimeter, and he's nowhere to be found. He hasn't touched the ball in this possession. Freeman
blocked that 3-point shot by Jerome Coleman. 5-point Georgetown lead. They can build it again here. Sweetney with all 5 points here in the overtime, and Rutgers hasn't scored yet. Riley sees an opening. They get it to Hall with 16 on the shot clock. Samnick, it hit the backboard underneath, and that's a turnover.
We take a look right here. Off the pick. There's the block. That play set up very slowly. Too much room. Oxnani didn't really get a body as he handed it off. But execution down the stretch, it's the little things in an overtime situation that make the difference.
Coleman for 3. No, they haven't scored yet in overtime. Georgetown in possession. They've turned it over 23 times. Well over their average of 16. To Braswell, got into the paint, blocked by Exani. And Coleman takes over for Rutgers.
Well, defensively, Rutgers has given themselves a chance, but offensively, they've got to make better decisions. Again, get Lamizana the ball out on the perimeter where he might be able to do some damage as well.
Shields forced the issue right there, got it inside, and drew the foul.
Georgetown foul number 2, Cortland Freeman. That's his 5th personal.
So Cortland Freeman, he fouls out. He joins Wesley Wilson, who fouled out with 9:39 to go in regulation.
Returns for Georgetown.
3 points on the night for Cortland Freeman.
Rutgers shooting 2.
Boy, if Rutgers could make some free throws, this very well might have been a different game. They're 59.2% coming in 13th in the league.
Well, it's still, if they make this one only a 3-point ball game with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. One of the situations here with Freeman going down is that Sweetney may be forced to play defense as well, and now you can go at him.
Right, he's got 4 fouls. Shields with 15 points, makes it a 3-point game, 2:18 to go. Stolen real quick. Taking it all the way in. Coleman on the swoop. Tip examining. No, second chance. Kicks it out.
Smart play, smart play. Didn't have the balance.
Lamizana for 3. He's got it. Tied at 85.
That's where he belongs.
Back the other way. Georgetown. Hall misses it. Offensive foul. And Rutgers with this possession can take the first lead. It's at 6-5.
Well, I talked about it all overtime. Lamizana stuck on the post, really not a factor. Get him on the perimeter. That's where he presents, with his size and his ability to shoot, he presents the obstacle. And on the defensive end, he wasn't in the game in the beginning. He's in the middle. He's blocking shots. He's taking charges. He's the man in this overtime right now.
Lamizana with a big shot. Under 2 to play, tied at 85. Lamizana 2 for 2 from 3-point range.
Now Rutgers working to get him open, setting some picks for him. That time not able to get it to him. Good defensive job by Samnick.
Sherrod into the lane. Nothing doing. Exani, baseline jumper, air ball, put back, foul before. Ricky Shields got inside to get that loose ball.
Yeah, that was flat out hustle by Ricky Shields. Ricky Shields from the Washington, D.C. area, 40-inch vertical. Watch him sneak there right on the right side of your screen, right under the basket, no block out. And with Shields, you know, he doesn't want to lose to Georgetown. He plays against these guys, I'm sure, all summer.
Yeah,
this
right.
is bragging rights right now. Parkdale High School, Prince George's County, Maryland.
That's his first miss tonight. He's 4 out of 5 at the line. He's got 15 points. Samnick out and Sweetney back in. 1:29 to go. Rutgers leads for the first time since 6-5. Here's some more pressure. Raswell.
Better get it over.
Riley. Sweetney's the open man down low. Finger roll is good. Georgetown back on top.
Rutgers doesn't have anybody coming back. There you go. It's a good decision by Lamizana not to foul.
26 points for Sweetney. Hoyas by 1. Final minute in overtime.
Excellent attack by Georgetown.
Thought there was a roll there on that pick, and they give it up. Braswell up quickly. Bethel. And nurse a 1-point lead. Clock running
Bethel
down.
had a notion.
He sure did. See if they go to Sweetney. I got to believe they will. He's got the catch. Wheels, fires. The bounce, no. Lamizana rebound. Rutgers still in great shape. Down 1. Final 30 seconds of overtime. Big East home opener for Rutgers. Trying to knock off number 23, Georgetown. Shields to Lamizana.
A turn and face. That's what he's got to do with his size and his ball handling ability.
Fades from there. Won't go. Foul. They got fouled. He'll go to the line with 13-2 on the clock.
That's how you utilize a 6'10 perimeter player with that capability. Get him the ball, have him turn and face, create, put you in a position to win.
Got that Darius Rice long 6'10 kg kind of look, and Lamizana has been just spirited coming off the bench tonight. Lamizana with 13 points, 6 of 8 from the line. Big spot, make that 16 points, and Gary Waters would love to win his home Big East debut. He took the jacket off a long time ago. This building's been smoking all evening. Riley fouled out, 13 points. He's the third Hoya to lead the game on fouls. for the tie, Herve Lamizana. Now for the lead.
Now, if you're Georgetown, you take that ball out of the basket or off the rim. You know, you have an opportunity to push the ball, get it into an open floor, get it in Braswell's hands. That's where he creates.
7 of 9 at the line for Lamizana. Rutgers back on top. Can they defend? Braswell has been a killer in game situations. A 30-second timeout called. We'll be back for the conclusion of overtime right after this. Back here in overtime, Rutgers 1-0 in overtime. This is the first trip into overtime for Georgetown. Kevin Braswell, pretty good chance he's going to have the ball when we resume play. Check this out. He's got a good history. March 8th, 2000 Big East Tournament first round. He beats West Virginia. And then about a month ago, same spot on the floor at South Carolina. Ball game. Can he do it here? Hoyer's down 1. Braswell's got it coming up the right side. Guarded by Sherrod.
Well, when you had that experience, you want the ball. He should come get it back now.
Hall, Samnick. Rutgers has defeated Georgetown. The new era, starting here in Piscataway, New Jersey, Gary Waters. .5 seconds to go. Lamizana to the line to add to the lead.
Well, they got the ball out of Braswell's hands, and he never really got it back. Not enough time. Craig Eschrick, though, is asking for more time on the clock. Lamizana was fouled before the clock ran down to 0.5 of a second, according to Craig Eschrick. He's looking for more time.
And I don't blame him. And Jim Burr is going to consult the replay on the far side at the scorer's table. Lamizana, what a performance. 18 points, 8 for 10 at the line, 7 block shots. They're going to check the replay. We'll provide it for them, and this well within the rules. And get the play right.
Absolutely. That's what replay is all about. Let's take a look at the clock. Again, Braswell gives up, never gets a chance to get it back. He's wide open on the right side of your screen. Now there's the miss. Here's the rebound. Let's look for the foul.
Ooh, he's
right there with a call. But it's also when the official recognizes it and blows.
Yeah. That looks like 1-5.
So they got it right when the foul occurred, because the human reaction time is naturally going to allow time to come off the clock.
So let's see what Jimmy puts on the clock. According to that replay, it looks like he's going to go to 1-5.
Yeah, he was motioning 1 second.
There it is. 1.
Either that or he was ordering a cold one. Bartender, over here.
They put 1 second. They had a half a second on, so you go to a full second. Lamizana, 8 out of 10 at the line. Gary Waters said the hallmark of his team is going to be defense, and that certainly has been borne out this evening. Lamizana has been spectacular coming off the bench. Nice touch, got the roll. Rutgers by 2. Lamizana with 6 points here in the overtime. Lamizana shot an air ball, hit nothing. Timeout Georgetown. He was trying to get it to hit the rim.
It's never easy.
Then it contacts a player, and then maybe the clock runs out. He shoots an air ball.
Well, for Georgetown to have its best opportunity, they've got to find a way to get that inbound pass at least a half court for somebody to turn and fling one up there. If you're Rutgers, your job is just to get a piece. If nothing else, stay between your man and the basket and get your hands up.
And straight up, too.
That's right.
Principle of verticality.
No reach, no gamble.
Both teams with no times out remaining. Gary Waters working it hard on the defensive end. His team has seen its best player foul out, and here they are with a 2-point lead with a second to go in overtime.
And I'm sure everybody on that Rutgers team has seen the Kentucky-Duke game on ESPN Classic. You can bet somebody is going to guard the ball.
And funny you should mention that. They've got the 6'10" Herve Lamizana going to guard that ball. With the wingspan, they're going to take advantage of it. You betcha.
That game changed the way these last-second inbound passes.
You got that right. See what kind of arm that Drew Hall has.
See, Lamizana is stepping off right now. As soon as they receive, he's going to go up and make it difficult.
He got a piece of it. There it is. Rutgers has knocked off Georgetown by 2 in overtime. Gary Waters, welcome to the Big East. Rutgers with its first win in Big East play. They win Gary Waters' home opener to go 10-4 and 1-1 in the conference. Our final score, Rutgers wins at 89-87. You can tune over to ESPN for third-round action of the PGA Mercedes Championships from Kapalua, or leave it here for ESPN2 for NFL Greatest Games. We continue our post-game coverage on ESPN News. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Len Elmore and our entire crew, this is Dave Sims. Good night from the Garden State. Rutgers in overtime is victorious.
Georgetown came into the rack, and the Knights were ready. Shot of the night. Rashad Kent, he's got no chance on this, right? Just throwing it up, no chance to go in. Yeah, he's got a chance, all right. Rashad, that's how you do it. Game was tied, final seconds. Georgetown trying to win it. First shot, three-pointer at the horn, no. So the Knights dodge a bullet. We go overtime. Game winds up in the hands of Herve Lamizana. Down 1, 13 seconds left. He goes to the free throw line with 2 shots. First one, ties the game. Then a chance to put the Knights in the lead. Lamizana is clutch. So here we go. Game comes down to this. Georgetown will get a shot off to win it. This for the victory right here for the Hoyas, but it didn't drop. A thriller at the rack, and how about this? Rutgers upsets 24th ranked Georgetown tonight. What a huge win for Gary Waters and his guys, 89-87. Busy Saturday of basketball.
3 in overtime. Herve Lamizana buries a trifecta to tie the game at 85. Lamizana, who had 19 points, made 2 free throws to put RU ahead by 1. Now final chance for Georgetown, down by 2, and Lamizana deflects the inbounds pass. Rutgers stuns the Hoyas 89-87 in their Big East home opener. Seton Hall visiting.
Took it to the wire against 24th ranked Georgetown. With seconds left, Mike Sherrod's jumper sends it to overtime, tied at 80. And in overtime, Rutgers cleaned to a 1-point lead. Georgetown's last second shot, no good as fans storm the court. Rutgers pulls off the 89-87 upset. Meanwhile, number 16, Syracuse, used the fly swatter to keep Providence at bay.
25, which means they're endangered. Herve Lamizana jams it. H-Lam, we'll call him. Tied at 80. Kevin Braswell driving, under 10 seconds to go. It's blocked. Rebound of freshman Tony Bethel. No, we're going to overtime. 1 second left. 2-point Rutgers lead. Drew Hall to inbounds, and it's Herve Lamizana again. H-Lam helps Rutgers pull off another upset of a top 25 team.
H-Lam. Troy Bell doesn't score for 25 minutes, finishes with 23, but not enough.
Georgetown, Rutgers, Mike Sweetney, he had 26 and 11 of 17, shooting a 13-0 run. The Hoyas are up 12 at the break. Mike Sherrod, sweet pass to Herve. How about Lamizana for the jam? 19 points. He is 2 of 2 from deep. More of the man. He loses it. Sherrod, baseline. Acrobatics, he had 14. Let's go to overtime? Let's do it.
If we got overtime, what happens in overtime? Georgetown comes in and scores after they didn't score the last 6.5 minutes of regulation and put it in overtime.
Braswell adds 20, Hoyas up 1. Lamizana shooting his second free throw, drains it. They'd missed 15 of the game, though. Victor Samnick, free throw line. Rutgers 89-87. That is a victory. So
Georgetown 0-2,
yeah,
starting.
which is a big surprise. Or does that speak to what we're going to see in the Big East? And we haven't even seen a Notre Dame team that doesn't have Troy Murphy anymore.
Notre Dame without Troy Murphy, but when we look at the Big East, I think the Irish are going to shock people. You love Chris Thomas as a freshman point guard. He's making things happen. Graves and Carroll show up in the wings. Humphrey, 5 double-doubles in the paint. The key is Swanigan's ankle. I don't know if he's going to play that much tomorrow, but they've come up, win tomorrow against Villanova, where they're 0-7. They have not beaten Villanova, the only team in the Big East since they have been in the Big East Conference, and the Irish are defending in the West. I think the Irish are going to surprise people as we're seeing the balance in the Big East now. Everybody's talking about what Pitt was, and they're still hot. We look at what Miami was coming into UConn. Syracuse playing very well. But this is a big test tomorrow, Notre Dame, Villanova. But I think as we look at the Big East, I just feel right now, as we're seeing it, Carl, anything's going to happen. You've got to win on the road. The Irish, after this, go to West Virginia. Then next Saturday, they have to play at Pittsburgh, and then they go to Syracuse on Big Monday. That'll be their big test on the road.
Your true green colors are showing.
I just love this team. I love Chris Thomas.